Hello there, in this video we're going to try to explain the most common issues we see with household sewing machines when they come into the repair shop, many of which can be remedied at home and or are often user error. So the first thing, there's nothing worse than working with an uncooperative sewing machine. Broken or tangled threads, skipped stitches, snapped needles. It can make for a very frustrating experience. But most of these issues can be resolved without taking your machine in for expensive repairs. We've assembled a list of some of the most common sewing machine problems and their solutions to help you troubleshoot even while mid-project. Thread bunching up under your fabric when sewing. If you're seeing knots of extra thread on the underside of your sewing, there are several likely culprits. If there are huge loops on the back of the fabric, the problem is that the top thread is not in the tension disc. Be sure to thread the machine with purpose. Firmly seat the thread in each groove and guide of the machine. If the machine is not threaded correctly, it will not sew. Rethread the machine, being careful to follow the threading schematic provided in your machine's manual. Make sure your presser foot is up while threading. Many machines lock the tension discs when the presser foot is down, making it impossible to thread the machine through the discs correctly. Adjust your tension settings. This is a common issue, especially if you go from working with a heavy fabric to a delicate one or vice versa without remembering to adjust your settings. Test your tension settings on a scrap of your project's fabric to make sure everything is correct. The bobbin too has its own tension. If the bobbin thread is not in its tension, the stitch will look unbalanced. Be sure the bobbin thread clicks into the bobbin tension. Remove and rethread your bobbin. Some machines are particular about which way the bobbin unwinds. Consult your manual to be sure it's inserted correctly. Make sure you are using the same type of thread in both top thread and bobbin. A difference in thread weight commonly causes machines to draw threads at different rates, leading to tangles and knots. 3. Needles are the easiest and cheapest part of a sewing machine to change, yet makes up 50% of the seam. Without a new needle, a sewing machine cannot work correctly. This is a problematic issue that can be dangerous as well as annoying. Always use a new needle for a new project. This prevents needles from getting dull or hooked at the tip, which can damage your fabric. Make sure you're using the right type of needle for the project at hand. If your needle breaks or bends, stop sewing immediately. Replace the needle with the correct type for your project, being sure to install it according to your sewing machine's manual. Thread and continue your project. If you're using the correct needle, but you continue to have issues with breaking or bending, you may have underlying mechanical issues with the timing mechanism, which will require expert repair. Check the type of thread that you're using. Delicate threads designed for hand sewing are not suitable for use in a sewing machine. Your top and bottom threads should also be of the same weight. Rethread your top thread, making sure your presser foot is up while threading. If you're still having issues, lower the tension settings for your top thread. There are several possible reasons for your machine to skip stitches. First, check that your needle is installed correctly, not bent or otherwise damaged, and that you're using the right type of needle for your project. If the top thread is not reaching the bobbin, the threads will not lock properly, resulting in a skipped stitch. Rethread your machine, both top and bobbin threads, and test. If your machine is still skipping stitches, there may be an issue with the timing, which will require expert repairs. You can check my other videos. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good stitch.